Hello, good morning. It is me. If you haven't met me before, my name's Sunday, and I've just been playing around with doing a little voice recording for myself because on a morning I'm really deepening into self-love, and on a morning I have a little agreement with myself to do 5 minutes talking into a mirror. So today I decided to talk to myself as if I was in a mirror. It's not easy because when those of you who do videos who know that you've got a little camera thing in this little dot up here, and if you look at yourself on the screen, you're not really looking at the what is it called, this little dot, camera. So I was just I'm delivering my self-love course at the moment, and also I'm delivering at the same, well, not at the same time, but in the same week, Making Peace with Sorrow. And those two things together are beginning to weave their magic on me, as well as the participants. And there's something about being together, exploring things like self-love and sorrow and grief that is really empowering, or at least it is for me. And last night I made an agreement to do 5 minutes of what I would call emotional, intuitive dancing. Just 5 minutes to some music, and of course the music popped in, the right piece popped in, and so I was just in my living room, front room, isn't that funny saying, front room, best room, whatever you want to call it, dancing with myself. And then I listened to the music when I woke up this morning. I don't know if you ever get, when you listen to certain pieces of music, how it kind of moves stuff through your body. I think I must be going into a season of exploring my body, my internal world. Because sometimes we notice when we get hungry or thirsty. Although I have to say, thirst has disappeared for me, so I have to keep drinking water. And my body gives me information all the time, and most of the time I'm not tuned into it. I think possibly most of us, me included, perhaps only get into connection with the body. Well, there's other ways like sex and all that, but when it's in pain. And it's kind of a shame, really, that pain is like the first, for some of us, indicator that something's not quite right with the body. But all those flickerings and, flickerings inside are messages. And sometimes they do draw my attention. I'm sure they do you too, when you've got what I would politely call a windy tummy. The urge to go to the loo's something that we don't ignore. But maybe some of us do override hunger and things like that. I find it fascinating because sometimes I'm driving my body and my thoughts. I'm the one that's creating my life. And then there's something else that's bigger than me, what some of us might call God or Source or the big mystery, or that's also driving me, because something keeps my heart and my lungs and my intestines going, because I don't have to think. Can you imagine if you had to think about every function that your body does? That you had to keep your heart, it was up to you to keep your heart beating. The responsibility was with you. Well, in some ways it is, and on a daily basis something else is beating my heart, something else is digesting my food. I think when I was younger, much younger, I got really scared about being a human on this planet, because the enormity of it and the unreality of it kind of captured my imagination. Here we all are on this blue ball in the sky, that we only see pictures of because we can't actually get off the blue ball. It's like you can't get off your body. You know, you can't get outside. Well, I suppose you can. You can look in your imagination, look from the outside in. And I think once I lost the fear of that mystical, magical, unknown, it took some time. And it still pops up, you know, the fear of what is life all about? Why am I here? How did I get here? Where am I going when I die? And all that kind of stuff. And then I suppose, as humans do, I've made a story around it. One that suits me. One that brings in some peace into my body. Because I was thinking about my nervous system and how, as a child, I was, you know, it was highly intense on where I lived, on a farm, with a volatile, loud family. I can't think of another word to describe us as a collective. Participating in life. Yeah, that's a good one. Participating in life. Noisily, hungrily, everything. Just sucking a lot of life out. And then I spent a lot of time on my own. And I think going in deep was one of my, you know, I'd get myself into a thought spiral. And before I knew it, I was shaking in fear at the enormity of the world and life and humanity. And so over the years, I've gently teased away at the edges of that and captured some beliefs, I think, that serve me and hold me grounded in the great unknown and also open to the mystery and magic of the great unknown, which allows me to play and participate and gather resources to help me navigate. It's a funny word, navigating life, isn't it? To help me move through life in a way that feels whole and easier. I won't say easy because I don't think life is easy. I don't think it's meant to be easy. I think it's meant to be surrendered to. And if you'd have told me that 10 years ago, I'm not surrendering. Control person here. I think it's great to let go of needing to be in control and realising that I'm in charge. You know, that I can, to a certain degree, override my instincts and my bodily demands, I suppose is want of a better phrase. But I can feel myself wanting to explore in the realm of my body sensations. Because listening to music this morning, I got a sense of something being released from my flanks, you know, the sides of my body, went all tingly. And it kind of tunes me into my sensuality as well. Not the sex part of me, just the sensual part of me that is sensitive, I suppose, to touch, to feelings, to sensations. There's so much. I see that my life, I'm making it into a game around me and this vehicle that I live in that is still unknown. You know, everything out there is kind of getting to be known. But my inner world is still a mystery. A lot of it, anyway. And maybe as you get older, maybe you start to deepen into the mystery of who am I? Who am I really? Because the bottom line is that I don't know who I am. I mean, I can describe myself in so many different ways, and still I don't know who I am. And I think that would be universal across all humans, that we don't really know who we are. We don't know what we're capable of. And I often think some people find their gift. You know, you see those talented people who actually have a gift. They've come through with a gift and they find it and they utilise it. I've got a daughter that has a gift, and she utilised it. And maybe I've found mine, you know. But I can imagine that amongst many of us, there's an unknown violin player, an unknown singer, an unknown marathon runner, an unknown master chef, mistress chef, whatever you want to call it. Or somebody who's really good at reading stars, or jumping out of an aeroplane. And I wonder if we all do find our gift. And maybe some of us don't need to. Maybe we just... I think sometimes the people who bring the biggest gifts to the world, who want to walk around the planet with a smile and a welcome and no fear of other human beings, I think that's such a big gift. Most of us are looking to be done over, taken advantage of, attacked. And it's a shame, really, because we're all the same. We're all unique, different, and all the same. And I do love people. And I think if you come through with that, I think if you come through with loving people, I think it's a good start, because everything's relational, isn't it? So here I am. I'm off to go and relate with my body and see what instructions and invitations and demands it makes of me today, when I remember, when I'm not distracted by the outside. I'm going to tune in. I had that thought that if I get disturbed by something that's going on in a conversation or a meeting or something, I'd say, hold on a minute, my body is trying to tell me something here and I need to listen. That's a great kind of conversation stopper for a start, but also I wonder what the world would be like if we did that. God, we'd have to slow down, wouldn't we? We really would have to slow down and be with and relate to what's arising in each and every moment. Oh my gosh. Anyway, on that mystical, magical note, I'll say goodbye and thank you for listening to me. And I love you lots. And maybe that stirred... I'd love to hear if that stirred something in you, and just comment, post below, which would be great. Yeah, take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye now. Oh, I've lost my button. Oh, there it is. Bye.